There's something I've noticed over the years. Some people make really good money. On paper, everything looks fine. They're employed, their income is stable, sometimes even above average. And yet, they're constantly stressed. They wake up thinking about money. They go to bed thinking about money. Every unexpected expense feels heavy. Every decision feels risky. And then there are other people. People who earn noticeably less. People without impressive salaries or titles. And somehow, they seem calmer, not careless, not irresponsible, just calmer. They sleep better. They don't carry that constant background tension. At first, that doesn't really make sense. Because most of us grow up believing something very simple. If you don't earn enough, you're stressed. If you earn more, the stress goes away. It feels logical, almost obvious. But when you actually observe real life, that explanation starts to fall apart. If income alone solved financial stress, then every raise would permanently improve someone's mental state. But that's not what usually happens. There's a short moment of relief, a sense of progress, a feeling of finally things are getting easier. And then life adjusts, expenses quietly expand, commitments increase, expectations shift, and before long the stress is back, sometimes stronger than before. That's usually the first clue that income isn't the real issue, because if the problem were purely numerical, changing the numbers would fix it. But financial stress behaves differently. It adapts. Most people carry a quiet belief they rarely question. Once I earn more, I'll finally relax. Once I reach this level, things will settle down. Once I get there, I'll feel safe. And that belief makes sense, especially if money has been tight in the past. But what often gets overlooked is this. Money doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of a system, a structure, a way of living. And stress doesn't come from income alone. It comes from how rigid that system becomes. Think about two people earning roughly the same amount. One of them feels constantly under pressure. The other feels mostly okay. Not euphoric, not carefree, just okay. The difference usually isn't intelligence, it isn't discipline, and it often isn't even financial knowledge. It's how their lives are structured. For the first person, almost every euro is already assigned before it arrives. Rent, subscriptions, monthly payments, long-term obligations, there's no space left. For the second person, there's margin, flexibility, room to adapt if something changes. And that difference changes everything because stress isn't created by low income, it's created by rigidity. When your financial life becomes inflexible, even a good income starts to feel fragile. Most financial stress doesn't arrive suddenly. It builds quietly, one commitment at a time, one rush decision after another, one small, I'll deal with it later, moment stacked on top of the next. Over time, money stops feeling like a tool. It starts feeling like a demand. Every month feels like a deadline. Every purchase needs justification. Every unexpected expense feels like a threat. And the mind never really gets to rest. This is why so many people feel more stressed as their income increases. Their lives become heavier. Their financial structure becomes tighter. There's more to maintain, more to protect, more to lose. Stress follows structure, not salary. There's also a psychological layer that rarely gets talked about. For many people, money isn't just practical, it's emotional. It represents safety, or success, or competence, or worth. And when money becomes tied to identity, every financial fluctuation feels personal. A bill isn't just a bill, it's a judgment. A purchase isn't just a purchase, it's reassurance. Saving isn't calm, it's pressure. In that state, more income doesn't bring peace. It amplifies whatever is already there. Money doesn't fix internal patterns. It reveals them. That's why financial stress often survives promotions, raises, and lifestyle upgrades. The outside changes. The relationship stays the same. Another thing that quietly fuels financial stress is comparison. Not dramatic comparison, not envy, just constant, subtle comparison. What others seem to afford, how their lives appear to look, what feels normal based on your surroundings. Over time, priorities get replaced by expectations, and expectations are expensive. When your spending decisions are shaped by what feels socially acceptable, your finances lose their connection to your actual needs, and stress grows. Not because you're irresponsible, but because you're reacting instead of choosing. Real financial calm usually doesn't come from earning more. It comes from needing less certainty from money, from fewer irreversible commitments, from slower decisions, from clearer priorities. From building a life that doesn't collapse if something unexpected happens. Not abundance, optionality. When money becomes flexible again, the nervous system relaxes. You stop bracing for impact. You stop running mental calculations all day. And for the first time, money feels quiet. This doesn't mean income doesn't matter at all. Of course it does. But it matters far less than most people think. Beyond a certain point, financial stress becomes less about earning and more about how tightly your life is constructed around that income. That's the part most people never examine. Financial stress is rarely about income. It's about structure, expectations, and the stories we attach to money. You don't always need more. Sometimes you need clarity. Sometimes you need space. Sometimes you need fewer decisions pulling at you from all directions. And clarity doesn't arrive loudly. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand attention. It settles. If this helped you see things a little more clearly, you're welcome to follow the channel for future essays. Until next time, talk to you again.